Right, so we bust out on Joker's Wild. Brilliant. That was ace. Now, 500 quid again. We're going to go versus Wheel of Winds, the last game on this terminal. So I'm just going to load all this in and fire the camera back up in a second, if it takes it. This is going to take ages, right? I'll get the 500 quid loaded in. Right. The feats don't last as long as this. Transfer takes longer then. Off we go. And row. So I need 3 of them wheels or more for a feature. So we're in. Ten, 7, 1. And it can show you 60 quid, and 60 quid don't even have to be on the wheel. So you'll notice that all sorts turn up. It's a quick and easy feature, so... So the same win lines as Joker Poker, just a different, or Joker Wild, sorry, just a different feature, a more simplistic feature. Oh, thought I might get the 5 then. I'm sure I played this once and I got 5 and it did that. Basically, every one of them was just absolute rubbish. I thought it was going to be like fucking hundreds. And it gave me like 30, 40 quid. And I was like, I'm never playing that again. Sure I did. I might think of another game. There was a machine, right, I've never seen it since. I used to have it in AMG in Unstanton where it had these different features on, but if you've got one of every symbol, it gives you a feature where you had like you know, like Arkanoid. You had this thing at the bottom and you had to move it and fruits would drop down. You had to collect them. So in theory, the better you were at it, you could actually literally just fuck it up and not win hardly anything off it if you were shit. And I loved that. I'd love to get that game. I've never seen it anywhere since, apart from that one arcade. I know it had like some maze symbols. There was like a maze feature. You just pick each way until it either give you a dead end or you come out, I think. Someone out there must have played it the same as me and must know what the fuck it was called. There was another feature, but I can't remember what they were. I think the reels cascaded, so if you like won something, they'd come down. You know, they'd plop down. But I know if one of every symbol come in across the screen, like there's 5 different features, say, if one of each symbol come in, you got this like super feature. And it would be like these, you know, little thing to collect fruits. They had it in AMG at Unstanton a few years ago, probably, 10 years ago, cannot remember what the fuck it was called, and I've never seen it anywhere since. I'd love to get my hands on that. Still winning. My dad did put a few quid in this. When I first got it, he did play this. He won a bit, then he dumped it back in. So what's everyone's plans for this bank holiday weekend then? Going to the seaside? I'll probably go to the seaside. Take my little boy up and stand at some point. Day out. I ain't been on stand for ages. I used to go a lot as a kid. My dad used to have a shop down there, music shop down there, so it's spent a lot of my younger youth down there. But amazingly, I didn't play machines. It didn't interest me. I just like playing the you know, Street Fighter and things like that, and The Simpsons. I used to play all them. I had a friend down there who used to play the odd machine, but most of the time we used to just play the arcade games. I remember watching a bloke complete Street Fighter in the pier, and we thought it was a fucking god. And I remember watching a bloke complete House of the Dead 1 in Thomas's, and I was like, wow, it cost him loads, but he done it. He stood there and done it. But then obviously got banned from arcades. There's no point going down there. You know, you get down there and fucking all the usual suspects be down there lurking as well, like you were going to be. And you're like, oh fuck, it's a waste of time. And when you're banned from half of it, it's like, what's the point in going? Just don't go anymore. Felixstowe, I used to love Felixstowe. I used to always do alright down there, but then stopped going. So, and then the last time, a few times I went, lurkers down there, people just waiting around. You know, it's like, oh, all the usual stuff dead. Don't go there anymore. I don't see Mark very often. Not as often as I like, anyway. I do like Mark, he's funny. He likes to moan, but don't we all? Sound test. Randy Rubber Duck. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it used to be about an hour down Felixstowe. But now it take me like an hour and a half, and I just cannot be bothered to go down there. Can't be asked. To go and make fucking 50 quid or something. Then you get fed up and just sit there playing 500 stone brains. Yeah. I don't mind Quicksilvers because they have to. You can go into Quicksilver and just play 20 pence if you really just want to punt. You know, you just like, well, that's a cheap gamble. Just spend some time. But when you got to play a quid or 2 quid is the only settings in some arcades, it's sort of like, oh no, I'm not just going to fucking, you know, this is the same sort of shit as bookies. You know, I can't low roll. It's like this game, isn't it? If this would be popular if it had 20 pence and 50 pence in a pound. Because it only got a pound, this machine only has a pound or 2 quid. They probably found that it didn't get played much. Unless you was a proper gambler, you ain't going to play it. Because you'd be like, why play us on a pound to go when I can play everything else on 20p? Now, we all know that on a pound, you got a better chance of winning money, good money. But some people don't care about that. They just want to gamble, but cheaply. It's a bit like if you went to the pub and all they offered was beer, and you was on a night out to get hammered, and all they offered was beer. People who don't have a lot of money would be like, well, that's shit, because I just want to drink spirits and get hammered quick. You know, I haven't got a massive amount of money, just keep drinking pints all day. Probably a shit example, but you get my idea. I mean, I don't know what games are good really. I mean, I see people like Flaming Dragon. I've seen people do, you know, get 50 or 60 quid on that on 20p. Same as Iron Man. I mean, Iron Man is still ridiculous, but that Buffalo Blitz, I still haven't seen anything pay as big as that on 20 pence. Like 289 quid them blokes got, and they reckon they had 200 quid off it a few days before. Another one, that's why I was like, fuck it off. And then to watch them get it, I was like, jeez, how lucky have you got But yeah, they'll probably play it for another month and not see a win like that, you know, for a month or two. Or more. 6 months you could play and go, yeah, I had a win over 100 quid. But at least you've had hours and hours and hours of play for not massive investments. Random games, there's no one's interest to play bigger bets. Unless you're a millionaire. If you're not a millionaire and you're trying to win, it's irrelevant. You're playing for fun. Like online. I can see why people gamble online. It'd be fun, but I would just literally, I'd be straight up to fucking £20 a press on tilt, and that'd be like, yeah, can I remortgage my house? What do you want it for? Well, I want to land a feature on Ruby Slippers online on 50 quid a spin. You know, that's the kind of shit I'd probably end up doing on tilt. You can set your limits. Oh, the feature. You can set your limits, I know. And Rock and Roll all like does it. Hyper like to go on it. But what good setting your limits when you can play fucking £20 or £30 a spin? You know? Fucking, you can go online. Yeah, I'll start small. What's the fucking point starting small? If you're there to try and win big money, because the same rules apply, just admit, you know, it's random. You might as well just low roll, unless you're loaded. If you're loaded, you've got plenty of money, yeah, online's pretty good. Why play a cap jackpot? Because you're going to get jackpot quite often when you're playing big bets. It's going to happen because you've only got you've only got to get 500 quid on it. But it's just when your luck's out, it's like great, you know. Just went online, done fucking £10 a spin. I had 10 presses, didn't get fuck all. That was a good gamble. And the same when you walk in the bookies, you can go straight in there and go, right, let's play mega spins, 50 quid, great, 2 mega spins, fuck all. If you're going there just for fun, you know, I mean, I'll pot chase. When I'm going after a pot, I don't care what it takes. I've decided I'm going to get it. If it's a loss, it's a loss. If it's a win, good. But with pot games, and there's only pot features, the bigger them pots get, the better the feature now is, isn't it? The better your odds are with that feature. You imagine if Iron Man had a meter that just sat there like a pot, and it said, if you trigger feature, you know, at the moment it's only 80 odd pounds, you'd be like, well, what's the point in playing it? But if it said, if you trigger the feature now, you know, worst case scenario is you're going to get £260 or £160, you'd be like, well, I'll have a go. I'd sit on it till you get a feature, wouldn't you? Sometimes you'd be like, yeah, 30 quid in, got bronze. Well, there'd be plenty of times. But look at Lee Freeburn, or Hyperfuse. You know, he's put there and first set, mega spins, bang, 500. Happy days. Yeah, you might go first set, bang, 5 grand online. But there'll be a lot of dead spins because it's to compensate for the massive sets it's going to do. Where bookies doesn't really go fucking 4 grand without features or whatever. It can give you loads of features and they'll be shit. But this is why I make a point of I low roll on some games. There's no advantage to playing that game at any point. Every point's the same. You're just hoping you're going to get a big feature. Where pot games, yeah, if the pots are massive, still could be a cunt to get them, but there's something you're going to chase something, aren't you? And you have to take a loss as well. You always have to accept the loss. If you can't take a loss, then there's no point trying to take a win. Because if you can't take a loss, you won't take a win. You'll win and just put it back in. I mean, my advice would be don't ever take your bank card in the bookies. I do because I'm stupid, but that's if I know I'm going to chase a pot. I'll get it. I'll be like, well, I remember that's there, and I'll be like, well, I might come back if I can be bothered, and I'll have my bank card. And I'll chase that out. Like that pure pot. I was locked in. I was just going to sit there. I didn't care if it took me 2 grand. It's just the way it is on them sometimes. But then you get the hits. That's what you play it for, isn't it? But online, them features have there's no change. You know, the progressive could be massive. You ain't gonna fucking hit it, are you? You got a chance, but come on, one person in the country's gonna hit that. You can't sit there and play for a progressive. You can't say, well, I'm locked. But I can see why people like online, because it's a level playing field. Everyone's got the same chance. But then to moan when you lose, God, playing like fucking shit, it's fucking rigged. It's the same as sitting at bookies and people are idiots that sit there going, bookies, roulette's rigged. It doesn't need to be rigged. It's going to make money long run. It does not need to be rigged. Neither is online. It doesn't need to be rigged. They don't care who the fuck you are. They don't care if you've won loads. They don't care if you've lost loads. Ideally, they want you to win something, so you keep coming back and you spend more money because the longer the play, you better. The more money they're going to make out of you. But you'll get shit nights, you'll get good nights. You can't fucking moan. when you get a good night, like, you know, rock and roll's had his nights, isn't he? Fucking website don't phone him up going, oh, fucking rig, mate, you're doing something. They just accept it. But they know long term they're going to make money. And I think I heard he's restricted his limits now. Good on him. £1,000 a day is still fucking insane. But, you know, one day he's going to... He accepts the win, he accepts the loss. Sometimes he freaks out, I see, yeah, but he takes a fucking loss a lot better than most men I see. I've seen people who lose fucking 30 quid and go more mad than what he does over losing £2,000. But he is pretty much the daddy. If you don't watch him, go and watch him. I don't make fuck all out of what he does. I'm not asking for anything. If you've never seen him, he's edge of your seat. It is like watching Die Hard slot machines. If John McClane, you know, had an online session, it'd be rock and roller. Hyperlinks, he likes to have a row and stuff, you know, but I just don't like how people try and portray online as being better. You're always going to lose money. Okay, playing random games. And this compensated game, you just play it coming every day. There's no advantage to playing this game. It just does it whenever the fuck it wants, doesn't it? It does whatever it wants. You can't sit there and say, oh yeah, I'm going to try and figure it out a little bit. You know, it's due. Wait, mate, the cycle on this is massive. If this is a £5 jackpot, yeah, you can chase a jackpot out. And you get to learn or notice when it was happy, when it was dead. You get on the board and go, yeah, it's offering me 40p and killing me. It's dead. Leave it alone, you know. But with these sort of games, it's more of a level playing field. You pay your money, you take your chance. And so is online. So to moan or say any form of roulette is different online, it's all the fucking same. Take your win, take a loss. Don't moan when you get 10 spins that lose and then say, oh, it's fucking due one of my numbers. It's no memory, mate. It doesn't get happy. It's not a fucking fruit machine. It's roulette. You can have 10 spins in a row that all win. Good on you. I hope you do. I hope anyone who has a go online wins. And I hope anyone who plays machines wins. I don't stand there and think people, unless they've been an absolute dickhead, but I don't watch and think, fucking lose your anger. I'm actually genuinely happy when someone else wins. I'm glad when Rock and Roller wins. I know sometimes I think, fucking hell, he always wins, but I know, because I've gambled long enough and I've seen people like No Limit Green, you know, the way he gambles, and you see, like, you know, well, not all the time, he doesn't do it all the time, but when he goes to Vegas, he likes to go big, you know, and you think, fucking hell, he can't stop winning, but then when he's unlucky, it's like, Jesus, it's like, fucking hell, I couldn't do that, you know, I'd be livid, and I have done it. I've done. I mean, I think all the times I've been going to Vegas, that's probably cost me. I bet I've lost £10,000 there in three or four or five visits. No, probably more. It could even be more than that. You got to remember the first few times I was going, the dollar was good, so you lose $4,000 there or something. It's like losing 2.5. But now you lose $4,000 there. It's like losing 3.2 or something. So sorry, I talk a lot, but it's hey, reroll. There's no such thing. It's just chance. Arse. You'll see amounts on there that don't exist when it stops. Like 60, is it on there this time? 60 quid's not even there, but you can see it. You can see it coming past. It's just an animation. It's just, to me, the only machines I want in my house are ones that are not going to make any money out of me. Like all the ones in my garage. I can get the money back out of them. That's just my point. I'm not saying don't go online and gamble. I'm not saying don't go to bookies. I'm just saying, remember, you're buying entertainment. So when you win, be happy. Buy something with it. If you went in there thinking, if I can win 100 quid and you win 300, go pay your electric bill. Go pay your phone bill. You know, go buy some flowers for the wife, or take your kids out to the beach or something for a day. Because at least if you go back and then lose a bit of it, you're like, well, at least I'm buying something with it. If you never buy anything or use it for anything, you will lose a lot more money every year. And then if you spent it. Because I've done it. I've been there. I've done all that. I've had the, I used to be sitting in the arcade every day. I used to sit there with no money, hoping my mates would come in and spend some money, been absolutely broke. I remember riding my motorbike home once, because I remembered there was like a lot of change in my money box in my bedroom. And there was like £1.60 something in there. I fucking rode back up the arcade and put it through Tutley Nudger. How bad's that? But I'll admit that. I'll tell you that. It doesn't bother me. I've gambled on all sorts. The only thing I can't comment on, I've seen online that I know people that gamble on sports events, but I've never placed a bet over bookie counter on a sport event. Because I know if I win, that's another thing I'm going to fucking start playing all the time. Bars! Not seen bars for ages. So I don't want to start. It wound me up with the... when we left the Euro. So I really thought we was going to. Even though I didn't want to believe it. I was telling people, like, nah, we'll stay in. But everywhere where I went around the country, I was seeing vote leave, I'm supporting the leave. And I was like, fuck, we're going to be out here. Apart from obviously Scotland, but I just see so much of this leave, and I thought, God, if I could just stick a couple of thousand, like 3,000 or 4,000, I was so close to doing it. I was like, nah, because if it wins, that's me hooked on sporting events or betting over the counter. I'm going to lose long term, and if it loses, I'll be pissed off that I lost $4,000. So either way, I was losing the money. Do you see my point? So I just didn't bother. And then I was pig sick the next day when I woke up, and everyone was like, yeah, we left the Euro. I was like, you fucking... Trump I didn't want to believe when he got in. I was like, oh, nah, it's like the Americans won't do it. Look at him now, he's fucking insane. I tell you what, I don't even know if we're still going to be here in October when I go to Vegas. That's what pisses me off about people like him. $60. No. 25. Or 6. 3. You'll notice as the videos go on, I'll talk less. A pound. But I just wonder what other people's views are on that, really. It's, you know, we all have memories as childhood. As it was fun. It was fun. You know, I had a lot of fun playing machines when I was younger. I had some right laughs with my mates. But I also had plenty of times when I sat there going, fucking hell, I've done it again. You know, I've just got paid on a Friday, and by Friday night I'm bust again. You know, I just got paid 160 quid, you know, because I had a factory job at the time and I was 16 or 17, so minimum wage was like, you'd get £4 something an hour. You know, it's like, I've just earned 160 quid for the week after tax, and I've just gone and lost it all, you know, trying to win the £25 jackpot in an arcade. Well, we're not even that much down. But the thing is, today everything is about, machines are all about winning big money. They're designed like a casino. They want you to get deep. They want you to do brains because they want to make more money rather than be happy with a customer that comes here and, thanks Jack, get out the fucking door. Oh, you ain't got no money to spend today. Can't, no loitering, you know. No, you can't use your phone here. Do you want a cup of tea? So I'm not asking you, mate. You're not over 65. You don't come in here every fucking day losing £100 these old age pensioners do, so we don't offer you tea. It's like, fucking hell, bit. I'll come in and put £1,000 through when your 777s love in one sitting. That winds me up. Then you get barred, or you get questions when you win. It's like, fuck me, it's random. Don't get questions when you lose £1,000 though. You don't get, that's a bit odd there, mate. Let me open that back up for you and give you 700 quid back, because I don't think that's on. Never had that. Never had that at the pub either. But I've been thrown out of the pub for winning. But I've never had a landlord say to me, there's something wrong with that band, mate, it's taking way too much money. Let me turn it off, I'll get the engineers out, and let me just go and reach it the till. How much you putting it, 300? Let me give you 150 back, because I feel bad for you. Do they fuck? I've got videos of me being banned from pubs, but sadly I can't upload them because it's, it sort of puts where I go, and I go all over, well, I go all sorts of places, really. I don't sit around where I live, because there's hardly any pubs to play, but I do play them around here, but... There are a lot of the pubs around here is, you win 100 quid out of it, and a week later no one's played it because the whole pub knows it's paid out, you know. I actually went into a pub and it was last win 100. Yep, last win 100. It was last win 100 3 days ago. Yep, same reels, no one's played it. No one's put any money in it because they all know it pay out a jackpot and that's it. Whoever played it didn't even put a quid in for a beat, because if it had one, maybe they just shot 100 natural, 100 somewhere and took that. Maybe it was a goal away. They didn't even try a pound for the extra 100. Just got turned off and that's been left as it is. But that's giving you an idea of how little shit can get played out in where I live. I'm trying to think what I'm looking forward to about Vegas the most. I'm looking forward to the road trip. It's just, Mark wants to rent a 4x4. Everyone, just comment. Just say, Mark, don't rent a 4x4. Let's rent a good car. And I'd go to a Cherokee, maybe. Or a Merc. But I don't want a big people carrier, because no one's going to enjoy driving it. And you get a, you drive. No, you drive. Nah, you drive. When we had Cadillacs and that, I was always like, no one wants to drive? Fuck it, I'll drive. You know, it was a nice car to drive, that was. XTS. Obviously, you know, Porsche was the best car, the most fun. It was comfy for what it was. It was more, I mean, we drove it from LA to Vegas and back, obviously a week and a bit later. But it was a shame, because we rented that car and it sat in the casino car parks most of the time. We didn't make full use of it. We should have done, really. It did have a limited miles on it, but it was over a week or 10 days, however we had it for. So say like you can only do 100 miles a day, you could do 600 miles one day and then your last day do 100. It wouldn't matter. It's just you had an average only 100 a day. And I think we only done something like 500 in it out of the 700 we could have had, or 800 we could have had. Because we only drove it to Vegas and basically drove it to the lake once or twice. Didn't drive around Vegas much. We wanted to like say, fuck it, let's go and pull up at a... Because the good thing about that is it had a LA number plate on it. So people looking at it, we were like, well, it's not a rental because it's not got a Las Vegas number plate, you see. You could think, well, maybe they drew it from LA, but you'd be like, well, who knows. It was good fun though. We were supposed to have a Cayman. We were supposed to have a yellow Cayman we was going to have. But they said it was a 4-seater. I didn't know. I didn't know it was only 2-seater. When I got there, it was like, yes, 2 seats. Me and Scott, obviously Scott's tall. Couldn't put our bags anywhere because he had 2 bags. So yeah, we had to upgrade. We got it for a less rate. It was supposed to be about, I think it was supposed to be $2,500 for the week, and we paid like $1,200, and that was with a tank of fuel as well, and with a cover where if we damaged it, it wasn't on us. Because I mean, you're supposed to have like a credit card there, which I got a credit card just for the reason of renting this Porsche, and it turned out I didn't even fucking need it because they give us this cover. They threw it in because we obviously kicked off a bit, like well, kicked off quite a lot. But yeah, it's to fly to Vegas is expensive. To fly to LA is cheap compared. I mean, you can pay £800, £900 to fly direct to Vegas, or you can go to LA, which is further from where we live, for $350, $400. You know, the same time of year. And you think, well, if there's 4 of you going, you know, I will advise you this: if there's 4 of you going, go to LA, have a night in LA, rent a car, and then do the drive. Because yeah, it's 4 hours, but it doesn't feel that long. And it's different. If you live in England, if you lived in America, no, you'd be like, fuck that, I've seen that shit before, but it's a good fun drive. For me, when I've actually driven, I drove the whole 4 hours a few times. Out of the group of us, I've just gone, no, I'll drive, you know, and I just like driving it. When me and my wife went, I drove it. Well, obviously, she didn't really want to drive anyway, because it's America roads, but it didn't bother me. It's not strenuous, it doesn't wear you out. It would some people, I suppose, but yeah, I enjoy it. When me and Scott drove it in the Porsche, I think I drove most of it. That's probably because I wanted to keep driving the car, but I had to let him eventually drive the car, because otherwise I think he's going to shoot me in the face and leave me in the desert. But don't rent a car when you get to Vegas. Don't walk downstairs and rent one. We hired a Camaro, and I got the receipt somewhere, and we played something stupid. I think it was nearly $300 for one day. You can rent a Camaro for something like $500 for a whole week. For like 400 quid, you can have a Camaro for a week. That's how much they charge extra for renting on the spot. I mean, really, I'd just say buy your own machines. You want to gamble? Buy your own. You can only win your own money, but you can only lose your own money. You know, you can't win anyone else's. You can't lose anyone else's. You can't win. You can't lose it. You know, it's yeah. You can pick machines up now on eBay for cheap. For £70 and that, it's stupid cheap. 50 quid to 100 quid now for a Bandit. Yep. Piggy bank with fucking flashing lights. Fruit machines don't cost grands anymore, unless you want, you know, 888s or something in your house, or 777s with all the games on it, licenses, and yeah, you can spend loads, but that Games Warehouse, 300 quid you can pick them up for now with games, with dongles. Awesome machine when it fucking works. But to be fair, I've had that. I must have had that 4 years, and it's finally gone wrong. So it sits in my garage, which is cold throughout the winter. So you expect things to go wrong. I've got to fix this. It's got a slight. The battery is starting to go on the board, so I've got to get that sorted. Well, we are slightly down at the moment. My dad did get a couple of features for 80 quid, so it can do it, but I didn't see any for, obviously I don't know if it can do 200 quid. It'd be nice just to see it, how big a feature it can give, but you need more wheels, you need the 4 or 5 wheels I think. I think he got 4 and he hit 80 odd quid. Getting a roast dinner tonight. Mrs. did me a roast. I fucking love my Mrs. roast dinners. It's like 50% the reason why I married her. The other 50% is because she lets me go to America and stuff and get out with the lads without giving me any stick or hassle. She knows I love her, so I know she loves me. So we're not teenagers anymore. We don't argue about where you going. You ain't going there. I trust her and she trusts me. Bastard. Well, they are sports fans. That's part 1 out of the way. How far are we going to go on this one?